Hello and welcome to Saurav's classes. We move to the next question, which is question number 11. Now this is a very interesting question and I'll show you a shortcut to solve this kind of a problem. So it's saying that in a triangle the two longest sides are 13 and 12 centimeter and the angles of a triangle are in arithmetic progression, and we are asked to find the radius of the inscribed circle or in radius. Now the condition that the two sides are 13 and 12 and the angles being in AP means that the triangle is a right angled triangle whose hypotenuse is 13 and then the other sides are 12 and 5. 5, 12 and 13 form a Pythagoras triangle or Pythagoras trio. So this would be the triangle, and we know that the in radius of a triangle is given by the area of the triangle divided by the semiperimeter. So in this case the area would be half of 12 into 5, which is 30, and the semiperimeter would be 13 plus 12 plus 5 by 2, which is 15. So the in radius will be 2, and option 3 which is 2 centimeter is the correct option. Now you can argue by asking that, how did I know that it would be a right angle triangle with the dimensions 5, 12 and 13. Now look at the condition that is given. The angles of the triangle are in arithmetic progression. Now we know that sum of the angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So let's assume that the smallest angle is x, and then the next angle would be x plus d, where d is the common difference of the AP series, and the third angle would be x plus 2d, and the sum of these three angles would be 180. This means x plus d into 3 is equal to 180, or x plus d is equal to 60 degree. So x plus d is the mid angle, which means that it is the second largest or the second smallest angle. So let's say that we have an angle of 60 degree, and we are told that the largest side is 13 and the second largest side is 12. So the second largest angle will be opposite to the second largest side, so this angle would be 60, right? And we also know that in any triangle there's a sine rule that any side divided by the sine of the opposite angle is equal. So 13 by sine of this angle, let's not assume it to be 90, let's say any angle ABC. So 13 of sine B is equal to 12 by sine of 60 degree. I take the sine of this, so sine 60 is root 3 by 2. So therefore sine B is equal to sine B is equal to 24 by root 3, 13 by sine B will be equal to this, which is equal to 8 root 3, and therefore sine B is equal to 13 by 8 root 3. Now 8 root 3 is equal to 8 into 1.7 roughly, that is roughly equal to 13.6 or equal to 13. Therefore this is roughly equal to 1, and therefore B is equal to 90 degree. So in no other way can we have an arithmetic progression of these three angles of the triangle where the largest side is 13 and the second largest side is 12. So therefore, B comes out to be 90 and this is 30. So this is how we derive it. But as I said that whenever you find this condition that the angles of a triangle are in AP and two of the largest sides are given in the form of any Pythagoras trio, then the triangle would always be a right angle triangle. So hence 3 is the correct answer. We move to question number 12. This talks about a e-rickshaw owner making 24 trips a month with 4 passengers, and he earns certain amount of money, and he's also paying interest on the e-rickshaw, uh, which is 120 rupees per month, and overall he's earning a 15% profit. And then it is told that what would be the approximate percentage profit for the same month if the owner undertakes 20 trips a month with 5 passengers, and his interest cost is reduced by 10%. And we are told that the total cost will be proportional to the interest cost, and revenue per passenger is the same in both cases. Now I'll show you first a shortcut method, and then I'll go and explain the details of it. So you see, he's making 24 trips with 4 passengers, and they're paying some money, let's say X each. So 96X is his income in the first case, and then in the second case he's making 20 trips with 5 passengers with the same rate per passenger, which means 100X. So therefore he has an increase of 4 over 96 into 100, which is roughly equal to a little more than 4%, roughly equal to 4%. And his interest cost is reduced by 10%. That means if his interest cost was 120, it becomes 108. So there is an increase in 10%. So which means your revenue is going up by 4%, and your cost is reduced by 10%. So therefore your profit will approximately increase by around somewhere around 15 to 20% on the same basis. But since your denominator is this cost is also reducing by 10%, so by another, 15 divided by 0.9 will be roughly equal to somewhere around 20 to 25%. So why I'm saying this is because you see the options, one is 67, one is 72, one is 100. Now these three are completely ruled out. So if I were to approach this problem, I would just look at these numbers. So 4%, roughly 4% increase in revenue and 10% reduction in cost, which means 15-20% around that would be the margins, and therefore I would straight away go with option A. So this is a very shortcut method, very crude and approximate, and the real numbers would be a little more different and accurate. Let's see what those numbers are. So now we'll go and do it the proper way. So we have two cases, case 1 and case 2. In case 1, the revenue is 24 trips into 4 passengers into X rupees per passenger, and in the second we have 20 trips with 5 passengers, X rupees per passenger, and the cost is in the first case is 120 rupees a month, and in the second case is 10% less, which is 108 rupees a month. Now what is told that in the first case he earns a 15% profit. That means the revenue earned in this case, case 1, revenue earned is 1.15 times the cost. So revenue earned is 96x, and the interest cost is 120, but the total cost, which is said to be proportional to the interest cost, let the total cost be T, that is proportional to 120. So T would be some constant into 120, so 120y. So 96x is equal to 1.15, that is 15% more of the total cost, which is 120y. So therefore, I can simplify this 4 and this is 5, and x is equal to 1.15 into 5 is 25 7 5.75 by 4y, which is equal to 1.4 and then 3 and 7 5, 1.4375x. And in the second case, we have the cost as 100x. I'm sorry, the revenue as 100x and the cost as 108y. So the profit percentage here is 100x minus 108y by 108y into 100, which would be, we know x is 1.4375y, so 100x would be 143.75y. So this comes from this. So therefore, we get 143.75y minus 108y divided by 108y into 100. Y cancels in the numerator denominator, which is equal to 35.75 over 108 into 100, which is roughly equal to, around 33 by 100 into 100, which is roughly equal to 33%. You can do the calculation, but you really don't need to do, because 35 by 105 is 1/3. So 35.75 is almost equal to 36. So 36 by 108 is also 1/3. So clearly you can see that this is closest to this value, 33.33. So this is the answer. But we can save a lot of time if we use the other options and eliminate them, just as I showed you earlier, to give you an idea of the range in which the answer might lie. So that would help you quickly arrive at the answer without going through all these calculations. We move to question number 13, and it looks to be a pretty lengthy question with a lot of information and data. And whenever you are dealing with such questions, just make a note of the points that are given as you read the question. So that helps you to solve these kind of questions pretty fast. So it is given that Nawab had two sons, Saif and Amir, and Nawab's satisfaction level is given by adding twice the satisfaction level of Saif and the satisfaction level of Amir. So Nawab is twice of Saif plus Amir. This is what it is. If Saif makes a profit of 100, his satisfaction level goes up by 10%. So Saif, if he makes a profit of 100, his satisfaction goes up by 10%. And if he suffers a loss of 100, his satisfaction goes down by 10%. So loss of 100, his satisfaction reduces by 10%. And if Amir makes a profit of 100, his satisfaction goes up by 5%. So Amir increases by 5% for 100 rupees profit. And if he suffers a loss of 100, his satisfaction level goes down by 15%. So down 15% if he suffers a loss. Currently Nawab's satisfaction level is at 24. So 24, and the satisfaction level of Saif is same as the satisfaction level of Amir. So 24 is equal to twice S is equal to A. So twice A plus A, or 3A is equal to 24, or A equal to 8 equal to S. So this is where it stands. And if Saif makes a profit of 100 and Amir suffers a loss of 100, so if Saif makes a profit of 100, his will go up by 10%, so it will become 8.8, and Amir suffers a loss of 100, so his goes down by 15%, so 8 will become 6.8. Um, and then it is asked what is the approximate change in Nawab satisfaction level. So Nawab satisfaction level will be 2 into 6.8, sorry, 2 into 8.8 twice S plus A, 2 into 8.8 plus 6.8, which is equal to 17.6 plus 6.8, which is equal to 24.4. So this will be the satisfaction level of Nawab. And the percentage increase or percentage change would be 24.4 minus 24, which was his earlier satisfaction level, which is 0.4, divided by 24, which was his earlier satisfaction level, into 100. Now we look at the options. Now we can clearly see that this would be roughly equal to 4, roughly. In fact, it would be a little more than 4, but roughly 4. So it would be roughly equal to 1.6 and a little more than that. So there's only one option more than 1.6, which is option 4, which is the correct option. Now, if you calculate this, more rigorously, it will come out to be 1 by 16 into 100. I'm sorry, 1 by 60 into 100, which is equal to 1.67. But you don't really need to do that because this clearly shows you that it is roughly equal to 1.6. There's very little difference between 24 and 25. So it will be a little more than 1.6 is what we can make out from this step itself. So there's only one option which is more than 1.6, and that should be the correct option.